Good morning, Mr. Woods.
Hey man,
Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you. I can see you.
Oh, this is beautiful.
The system works.
The system actually works.
So the idea is that I impart something.
Indeed.
I believe.
However, you know, and I'm all ears. So
You're all ears.
yes.
So obviously, because you know most stuff already.
Wow.
That's but you know, and I you know, like percussively as well. I didn't. So I thought I would, as I mentioned to you, I would show you a bit of rhythm music. So I thought short and sharp is good for the internet sort of generation, isn't it? Because our attention spans start to go. So I thought I would delve into a bit of rhythm museum, which also means that I can then say, like, you know, it's from my new album, which is called In Paradolia by the Chris Woods Groove Orchestra.
And I've added a little website link just in this description here. So
have you really?
I have.
Thank you so much.
No problem, sir. No problem.
Very kind. So, and also I thought it was quite nice because it's a very treated guitar orchestra. So it's it's 10 guitars and they all have paper between the strings.
Okay. Do I have to weave it in throughout the strings or?
Yeah, just in and out each string.
In and out each string.
Like so. For instant guitar trashiness.
Do you have a Chris Woods model of this yet at all?
The signature poster is I'm in negotiations with W.H. Smiths at the moment, but they're sort of financially struggling, so they don't think it's
there's always an endorsement somewhere we can try and find.
There's
not as, but you know, I'll get the idea and then I'll try something else. But
no, that's great, man. That's great. Yeah, there's lots of other options. Laura Snowden was telling me about she had played a contemporary classical piece. I think it's for guitar and orchestra, but the guitar had a cheese grater between the strings. Yeah, so you can go as far as you like. And I guess this all originates, well, actually, it's probably like a blues and a folk thing, isn't it? Just making a percussive sound. But, you know, we can look at John Cage and his treated piano and stuff for further inspiration. Anyway, Rhythm Museum, basically, John, is very simplistic, and it's not anything like what I would usually do because it's just a bunch of chords. It's in standard tuning as well, which is quite a rarity.
Beautiful.
So it's based around an E major chord.
Okay.
Doesn't really help with that, do you? So it's based around an E major chord, and the main riff goes like this. So there is a bit of a percussive thing going on, but ultimately, strumming wise, we've just got our first finger down and then we're coming off to make it a minor at the end.
Okay. Have you got any mutes in there, or is that the effect of having the paper in between the strings?
Mutes? You mean like stopping the strings?
Or in between? Or is the
oh yeah, no
from the paper?
Not at all. There is a string slap, but other than that, no. I'm holding the chord constantly. Really simplistic strum. So without the percussive motion of the kick and snare, we've just got. And then all I'm doing, and I guess for the folks at home, to talk about the sort of the kick drum sound. So on that first strum, I'm flicking my fingers out and then moving the heel of my hand into the body of the guitar. So, okay. And then from then, I'm just continuing with the down and up motion. So. And then I have a string slap, which is a turning of the wrist, which you obviously are super familiar with, and then continue. So I've got a kick and a snare on a 1 and a 3, I think. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm just replacing a downstroke on 3 with that string snap. And after that 3 is when the finger comes off. 2.
And I imagine, you know, probably the more dirty you can get with this, the more filthy it would sound. I don't know if that's the...
Yeah, absolutely. It's like an overdrive pedal, isn't it?
Yeah,
like, oh, you
yeah.
make it dirtier. So like more paper.
More paper.
But yeah, and in the track, obviously, it's like it's 10 guitars playing this, and it's just all slightly, you know, synced very, very differently. So it's sort of a big trashy, lazy kind of sound. But yeah, that's the sort of the meat, if you like, of the piece. And then there's a little sort of end to the phrase which just keeps going round, which is this. And that's like a little A7 shape.
Mm-hmm.
And then moving that up to the 5th fret. And then I move down to 4 and 3. Don't actually know what chord shape that's called. Yeah, so da da da, and then the A7 shape on 2, 5, 7.
No. So
yeah, that's it. That's it, and you just start on the offbeat. So do it twice.
So something like that.
That's it. That's it, man. And then I go down to the 5th fret and the 4th fret, the 5th on A and the 4th on G, and I do the same thing, but I take away my 2nd finger, and then I move it down 2 frets to 3 and 2, and then just end on a G power chord.
Am I getting the...
Yeah, it's fun, man.
G power chord, yeah?
Yeah.
No, what was the last bit? How was the rhythm for the...
And then it's just still always on the upstroke. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 2.
And then back to E. Okay. 3, 4. Is there a bit on the G chord where you take a finger off, or is it just...
No.
And then do you go back in? I'm using a pick here. This is just all fingers, isn't it?
Yeah, I do use pick and pick, but yeah.
And do you do the same with the bass drum on 1, snare on 3?
No. So I sort of have just the bass at the beginning, really, of that. So kick, snare, and then I take it out.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Now I'm gonna play it.
So the snare is the one, I think it's when it cuts in, you take out the 1. So we've got
just one round of G.
Yeah, yeah, that's a sort of main cycle for the so put another piece in sort of A B C, yeah, an A B C sort of structure. So that's the big chunk of the B. Yeah, and then on top, well, we won't teach this because people would have skipped on by now, right? But like, I'm bored, off I go. But underneath is a little melody. And then yeah, which is kind of because interestingly, this the title was originally recommended or created by the legend that is Amrit Sond, the Grammy Award winning legend that is Graham Rich Sond, and we were driving to Buxton to play together, and he said about he basically gifted me a title of Rhythm Museum, and he was talking about the idea of like it just being a collection of rhythms and like with like James Brown kind of rhythms and funk and stuff.
It's got
And
what brass? That's
and yeah, I didn't end up sort of stuck with that, but and it grew into I sort of grew into this concept of a kind of a night at the museum kind of idea, but like a cultural museum coming together, you know, rhythms from around the world, all kind of. But yeah, I think this little, that's my little nod to Amrit and James Brown.
Yeah, because it's got brass elements. Oh, I thought synth at first, but maybe that's because of the slightly rugged distortion.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then,
yeah, but it feels like there's swamps of brass. I totally agree, man. And that's the sound of just all these, because I think this actually creates obviously sort of harmonics as well.
Yeah.
And when you've got 10 of them, and when I recorded it, I obviously tried to use lots of different guitars, some super trashy guitars, and so all the harmonics are slightly different. It does create quite a. Obviously, you need to listen to the track to experience this.
It's a beautiful track.
Thanks, mate.
So, do you have tab for this?
No, that's silly, isn't it? Maybe I should have done a track that I could sell, but I just thought it was a, bite-sized, interesting thing, and then obviously I do desperately want people to go and listen to it.
And so, when you play this live, do you play that with other musicians, or do you layer it up in some ways, or?
Yeah. So I've been doing it with a looper since January. Yeah, and it works really well. I use the RC300 because obviously I'm coming in with different layers on top of each other. Yeah, and it works great, man. Works great. It's been quite a learning curve doing that though. But yeah,
cool. Wow,
that was fun, wasn't it?
It was very well. I hope everyone else enjoyed it. I was completely immersed. Well, you could probably go in the future go and pick up your Chris Woods Groove post-it notes and
from Brett Smith.
This is it. It's bound to happen. But mate, thank you so much for taking the time out.
Thank you so much.
And go and enjoy yourself a decent coffee. And yeah, I'm gonna, for everyone who's been watching this, I'm gonna go and put it up on our Facebook pages and YouTube, etc. And make sure to go and check out Mr. Woods' material via his website, YouTube, streaming, everything, I believe. Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah, the Chris Woods Groove Orchestra. Yeah, everywhere. Ah, yes, indeed. Oh, yes, obviously, and the orchestra as well. Go and check out that project. But thank you to everybody who's been watching, and I'll let you know about the next one. So, mate, thank you so much, and have a grand day.